Supergirl issue 21, the return of Supergirl solo series. And obviously, Kerr was maybe going to read this, but he didn't have time because it made sense not to. If he was going to cut something, to cut this one because he's not reading Bendis'
Yeah,
Superman.
It's not that I'm not I'm opposed to the book. I'm sure it could be very good. I'm sure you guys will tell me in a minute. But it was more just, okay, this is tied into all the Bendis run. If it's gonna probably cross over quite heavily at some point, and I'm gonna be forced to read that stuff. So if there's something that I'm not gonna get time to read, this was the first thing to go.
I'm sure Matt will tell you real good if it was good or not. So actually, before we just say what we thought about this, I was in a really weird place. Like, I was happy Supergirl was coming back because I like Supergirl enough that I wanted to have a book. But I was kind of like, is this like a weird thing where like they're doing it out of like necessity rather than because there's like a good idea to have like a solo book? And I was in like a weird place anticipation wise for it. And that was completely unfounded because the book was fantastic. I loved it.
I do wish she had gotten the #1 instead of it just being 21.
That's fair.
Like, I wish it was just because it really is an issue 1, and it does play back to some of the stuff that we saw in the last series.
It references
but
it,
has nothing. But outside of her Earth family, it doesn't, or her DEO agent family, it doesn't really have much to do with that run. So I feel like they could have been justified in making this a whole new #1.
You know, I love that
Connor doesn't care.
I love that Connor said, "Oh, I'm sure you'll tell me in a minute if it was good or not." And then as soon as we started talking, he muted his mic and left the room.
And left, yeah.
The dick.
But
I assume you liked this as well, Matt.
Yes, I like this a whole lot. This
was good.
I like fired up Supergirl. This feels like pre Flashpoint Supergirl, to where she had lived on Earth for a while. She had, she knew different heroes enough that she had relationships with them, and she just wasn't this newly come to Earth girl. Like she kind of felt in the last run, the Orlando issues, which were fine. I like those too. But this just felt like a return to form in the version of Supergirl that I really like.
Yeah, no, she feels like Supergirl, and I think what I like about this the most is that it has a sense of direction. Like, it feels like she cares so much about what Rogol Zar did, and she's convinced that if he did kill Krypton, which she's not convinced, she's going to try and find that out.
Right.
But if he did, then there's no way that no one knew about this, right? So someone there has to be some sort of conspiracy. There's no way this happens with one man on his own. So that's what she's going to look into. She's going to go into space. And this issue is mostly just her saying her goodbyes and leaving. And Clark's trying to talk her out of it, and she's like, "No, Clark, Krypton to you, you may be from there, but it's like, it's an idea to you. Like, you don't remember it.
It's theoretical.
Yeah.
I love how she said it's theoretical to you, but I actually live there.
Yeah, she actually has memories of it. She remembers her parents. She remembers what the city looked like. She remembered all these things. And they're leaving a bit of a cold place until the end, of course, when Clark kind of realizes that, he can't stop her, and he sends her Krypto to keep her company and protect her with a little note.
I swear if anything bad happens to Krypto, I'm going to lose it.
So Supergirl being excited that Krypto's there and like hugging him and stuff. I thought the art from Kevin Maguire. I didn't even mention who wrote this. This was Mark and Draco writing and Kevin Maguire on the art. Yeah, Kevin Maguire's art I thought was pretty solid, very expressive in places. I thought it really captured her like going through anger to sadness. Like, she's like determined not to cry at various points because she calls her Earth parents, her adoptive parents, and tells them that she's going away for a while, not to worry, but she just leaves a message and she's like, "No, I can't cry. If I cry, I'll never stop." But she ends up finally having a tear at the end when Krypto's there, and Krypto's like looking upset about it, and she's like, "No, it's happy tears, Krypto. It's fine. Right. And she's leaving. So all the emotional stuff with Kara I thought was really good. I was really into her saying her goodbyes to Clark, and of course the mystery side of it is she goes to Hal. She goes to Green Lantern. Mm-hmm. She goes and gets Rogol Zar's staff that they've hid under the fortress. This appears to be set before Superman issue 1. And she takes the staff to Hal, and she's like, "Hey, can you scan this from the Green Lantern archives and see if anything comes up?" He's like, "Well, I've already scanned the symbol, the circular symbol." And she's like, "Well, yeah, but can you do it again, but scan the actual staff this time and see if anything comes up?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, but I don't think anything's going to come up." And then as he's speaking, the ring says, "Oh, information on this is redacted." And he's like, "Huh.
Well, that's not..." He goes, "It shouldn't do that to me."
Yeah, that's never happened before.
Yeah. So I like that. My one problem with the art here is this felt more like Kyle in the looks
Yeah,
than
I can see that.
Hal, but he sounded like Hal, so it was this weird like I'm hearing Hal, but I'm seeing Kyle with
Yeah.
brown hair. But I mean that's a minor thing. It's still, but I again that's what I was referring to in the beginning where she's familiar with the Lanterns, you know, like so she knows enough to be like, hey, I can go to the Green Lanterns to ask over this, you know, this weird alien staff.
Yeah, because that's actually her first port of call. She's going to see the Green Lantern Corps to investigate this redacted information. But obviously, when he looks this up, we cut to this alien in space who gets flagged. Like it's almost like in like a spy movie when someone looks up someone's information and it gets flagged in like the CIA, and it comes up. It's like it's like, oh, someone's looking at this. This is dangerous. This is bad. And the alien like runs off to like tell his boss, whoever it is. Someone we don't get to see. It's mysterious. We hear that if she gets too close, it's what's one more dead Kryptonian. But it's all ominous and like villainous, and it's like okay, there's a conspiracy here. Something's going on, and Kara's coming digging. So no, I was actually like really surprised with how much I liked this.
Yep, definitely, and I can't wait till she gets the new costume.
Like... she gets a new costume in this one. Because she's got the suit she's had for most of the issue, and then she goes, "Oh well, I'm going to be away from the sun, so this solar battery suit or whatever she calls it, will help." And the yellow in the emblem glows because it's like it's actually soaking in some solar power for later. Yeah. So
I'm talking about the costume that they redesigned that's on the cover, like that costume.
Yeah, I'm not as excited about that one. I don't like that one as much, but
yeah,
that's one.
I just want to see the reason behind it.
Oh sure.
Because here. Yeah. This makes sense. She's going into deep space, and I like that. I like that when they give Kryptonians limitations, like of course she can't fly.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a ring. She can't fly in a Mogo.
I do still prefer the red skirt, but this one with the blue skirt's fine, and I do like the emblem lighting up. That's kind of cool. So this is the first new suit we've got. Obviously, we know we're getting another one when she goes out of space at some point. But no, I'm intrigued by the conspiracy. It feels like it's got this plot that's thought out that we're really building towards, rather than just like wasting time for something to happen. And I really like that. So no, she's off into space to try and investigate this redacted information. So that's where we leave off. So no, pleasantly surprised. Not that I was expecting a bad issue, but like I was not expecting to be as into it as I was.
Yeah, me neither. Like, and then the Maguire art on top of it just adds like the frosting or the icing.
Yeah,
onto something that's already so good because, like you said, the expressions and just even Crypto and his tail wags. Like I love.
And the coloring was very sort of vibrant but kind of light at the same time. It had almost like it's not a million miles away from what I think an Adam Hughes sort of art would look like.
Yeah, Maguire, they're in that kind of where it's very much based off of like the style guide from the 70s, from like the Silver Age. Because I don't know if you read any of the Justice League International stuff from Geffen and Maguire.
No.
Or I can't believe it's not the Justice League. But yeah, it has the same look to it. So to me, this gave it this classic feel.
Yeah, Hal. I mean, criticisms aside, that it looked a bit more like Kyle. His suit felt very Silver Age, and how simple and bold it was. Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed this issue.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Without question, we'll be back for issue 22 next month. So, Supergirl comes recommend. If you're reading Bendis' run on Superman in Action, this feels like almost required reading to go along with it. So, there you go.
So just a follow up to that is, would you recommend it to someone who's not reading those?
Well,
like how connected is it?
If you have to know who Rogolzar is and why Kara's so upset. Once you get past that, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it's not because she's going to deep space. I don't see it crossing over with Superman in the near future. Like maybe down the line, a couple years from now or whatever, or storylines.
I give it an arc.
No. There's no way.
All right, I'll give it 2. I'll give it a year.
Well, then that's fine. I mean, Superman is going to be moving at the same rate at this point because Action's so different than Superman.
Yeah.
And then Supergirl, they're all monthly. So, But yeah, I would even say, as long as they know about Rogolzar, I would say they should read this because the characterization of Kara is top notch.
I'll try and maybe get around to it then at some point when I get some time.
So Matt, what are you rating it?
Oh, this is a 9. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
I think I concur with that score. Just I don't upset Matt that I'm picking the same number.
No,
but...
I'm not even gonna argue with that one. Just, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine. That makes sense. 9 makes sense.